The Northern Circuit is probably Africa's most dramatic wildlife area. Game safaris never fail to satisfy with the thrill of the big game. They also offer diverse flora, panoramic landscapes, and spectacular mountains. The game migrations across the plains defy description. Tanzania is an immortal Eden where nature reigns. Vast endless plains echo with thundering hooves of over 2 million migrating wildebeest. Tanzania has a generally comfortable climate year-round, although there are significant regional variations. The tropical coast stays quite hot and humid with heavy and reliable rainfall, especially during the rainy season. This central plateau is cooler and arid. There are 2 rainy seasons. The heaviest rains usually fall from mid-March to May, and a shorter period of rain occurs from November to mid-January. The dry season, with cooler temperatures, lasts from May to October. The hot and humid climate of Tanzania is one of the reasons for the annual Great Migration. With appropriate weather, the ground of Tanzania supports growth of fresh grasses, food supply for the swamps of migrating animals. Summer usually lasts from November to March, and during this time, there is always a chance of afternoon showers. Thanks to this vast amount of protected land, at least 20% of Africa's large mammal population are spread across reserves, conservation areas, and marine parks in Tanzania. However, the spectacle was under serious threat as effects of climate change have seen lesser and lesser rains in the area, causing the ground to be drier, making it harder for grass to grow in migrating zones in Tanzania. Tanzania is famous for its biodiversity, its large populations of big cats, and the Great Migration. The Big Five of lions, leopards, elephants, buffalo, and rhino can all be spotted in this amazing wildlife environment. All 5 can be seen in the Serengeti and Ngorongoro Crater Conservation Area. The black rhino is the rarest of the 5, but they do live in the Serengeti and Selous Game Reserve, but they are easiest to see in the Ngorongoro crater. Unlike many animals in Tanzania, zebras do not rely much on short grass to survive. Instead, they eat a wide variety of different grasses, sometimes even eating leaves and young trees. Annually, hundreds of thousands of zebras gather up and begin the long trek from Tanzania plains in the north to Kenya. This annual journey is to find food and water, also create an astonishing view that can amaze anybody from the sky view. Also, Tanzania is the home to 50% of lions in the world, and is also one of the best countries in Africa to witness their mighty look. However, the number of lions are declining to the point of 30,000 remain in the wild. Despite the decline, the big cat populations in Tanzania are critically high, and most visitors can expect to see several lions during their trip to safaris. Tanzania is a hotspot for these iconic African animals, and they are found in all main safaris, with sightings guaranteed that more than 90% of visitors behold the lions. Interestingly, the only place the giraffe cannot be found is in Ngorongoro crater. It is thought that they cannot get up the steep sides. For the best game watching action, head to the Serengeti or Tarangire National Park, where the vast and expansive plains allow you to see a number of herds grazing at once. Tanzania is well watered thanks to its monsoons. This means hippos and crocodiles can be found in most parks, but especially in Katavi National Park. Tanzania is also home to the wader buck, Sitatunga, and common warthog. There are elephants and water buffalo in abundance in Tanzania, particularly in the Tarangire National Park, where herds of elephants outnumber people. A full 1/3 of Tanzania's land mass is protected due to the creation of 16 national parks. This makes the country perfect for safaris and wildlife viewing. On safari, expect to see roan antelope, sable, mongoose, impala, kudu, topes, congonese, hartebeest eland, bush buck, the spiral horn bovines, oryx, kirkstickdick, and giraffe. One surprising fact is that hippopotamuses spend up to 16 hours a day in water to keep their bodies cool under the hot African sun. Here in Tanzania, hippos are found mostly in the country's rivers, throughout from Lake Victoria to Tarangire Swamp and many national parks. The best site to see hippos in the National Park of Serengeti National Park, where thousands of hippos lazily enjoy the cool water in the wetlands, apart from the harsh sunlight of Tanzania. The Great Migration is one of the most extraordinary wildlife events in the world. It takes place in the Serengeti as herds upon herds of wildebeest, zebra, and Grant's and Thompson's gazelle traverse the savanna in pursuit of water and new grasslands. In their wake follow predatory cheetah, lion, and leopard. Following the wet season, the wildebeest give birth to over 8,000 calves daily, resulting in 500,000 calves being born in a week. Then, they begin their treacherous 2,000 miles journey across the Serengeti to the luscious fields in the Masai Mara in Kenya. The entire Serengeti ecosystem depends on this migration, with the vast columns of wildebeest providing sustenance for the predators, felines, and birds of prey following them. Poaching and anthropological pressure to meet the huge demand of wildlife meat has been a major problem in Tanzania, with reported removal of nearly 200,000 animals annually. The government of Tanzania, in collaboration with international aid agencies, has made serious efforts to contain this problem through wildlife law enactment and enforcement and finding solutions to the conflict between wildlife conservation and the needs of rural communities dependent on these resources. Anti-poaching operations have been conducted on several occasions, and game viewing tourism has been a success in the easily accessible northern wildlife area of the country. Tanzania is arguably the most dramatic wildlife destination in Africa, boasting all the big game that has made Africans safaris famous and hosting the finest chimpanzee interactions on the continent. The dramatic landscapes and unique, pristine wilderness areas ensure its iconic status.